Oh no, my work phone has notifications. Hold on.
Don't worry, we could talk about the
Oh, Eric's Zoom meeting. Hey!
There you are.
There's my notification.
You are live.
Oh, I'm like, oh, there's a 20-second delay. Oh, Eric's Zoom meeting.
There you are. All right.
There's my notification.
So we have to turn off live. It says 7 people watching.
Oh, there's a 20-second delay. But I hear an echo now.
Okay, I turned off my sound. All right, cool. By the way, if you're watching this, we are just testing Zoom to make sure it's working. So don't, but I would love for people to comment and say, hey, you see me, this and that. We are testing a new interview format where I anticipate interviewing guest speakers live on the show. So I am trying out new software, and I have here Maria Martinez, your resource specialist. Oh, hey. Okay, I see some people. Alexa.
I don't see the comments. I'm sad.
Hey. Okay, I see some of my people. All right. I am trying out. By the way, aren't y'all supposed to be at work? Are y'all off today? Okay, good. I'm happy. You click fast. That's cool. Okay, so you can't see the comments, Maria?
I had to do it on my phone. I can't see it. Like I see on Zoom that it's live, but no, because if I go to chat, it's Zoom chat. It's not.
She said she's at work. When you go to chat, you go to Zoom chat?
Yeah, I don't see, unless I try to log into YouTube and see it from that side of it.
No. I wanted you to be able to see it on here. On my... This is cool. I like this.
Uh-oh,
Bridget said, hey, Maria.
I'm looking at them from my phone.
Oh, okay. But I can't see you on the screen.
Oh, I see you.
Right, I don't see Maria. How do we show Maria? Okay, there you are. Oh. Okay, so when you talk, Maria, it looks like it shows your face. All right, now I switch to views. Okay, good.
But now I have to, like, for your guests to be able to answer questions.
Yeah, but so you can, all right, so I can change the view to this, and then that shows the person who's talking goes on YouTube. And then we can talk. Maria. Talk.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. By the way, I don't like this. The camera makes me nervous. Okay, Bridget says when you talk, your frame turns green, but I still see you both.
Okay, there you go, Bridget. All right, so what I did was, there's a setting where I can show both people, and then there's a setting. Maria, we can't hear you. Oh, okay, I got you. I was looking at you on YouTube, not in the.
You switched it again.
Yeah, I switched it, so now when I speak, then I can show. Okay. Oh, we got Vicky on.
Hey, Alexis. Vicky!
Hey, Vicky.
But I like the two people at the same time better than just one person at a time.
Right. Yeah, Bridget. Okay, gotcha. All right, let's see. All right, so we could do this one. And now it has both of us on here. Let's see. Wait for it. It says it's 20 seconds behind.
Yeah.
So, okay, now we're both on there. All right, Bridget, so you like the two screens better than the one screen? Kai-san, congratulations getting your K code. Congratulations working on your capability statement. Awesome. Good job. Kelly Fawcett. Billy Johnson, what's up, Billy? Hey, Kelly. All right. We are testing the YouTube system. Oh, you like this better, Bridget? Okay. We are testing to see. I want to start interviewing guests live on the show. That way we can have interactive feedback and comments from everyone at YouTube. So this is our experiment where Maria and I are practicing. And I said, might as well put it live because how else are we going to know where, people are talking to us. So, all right, Terrence says two screens makes it more personable. But you know what I don't like? I don't like that Zoom logo at the bottom of the two screens.
Well, they always have to do their marketing.
That's, but I mean, I understand what you guys are saying because, at least we're having a dialogue, open dialogue. This is great. We already have guests that want to come on. So I think this is a wonderful way to do it. Okay. So it looks like everyone's feedback is that the two screens is better interaction. Hey, by the way, I don't know if you guys have seen yet already that we are traveling to a city near you. We're starting off first city, of course, Miami. Why not? It's in the backyard. But then we're looking at going to Dallas and Philly. Where else, Maria? What else do we have on the calendar?
Dallas, Philly, New York, California. Right now it's LA. I am trying, guys, to get to San Diego also. I know it's like an hour and a half away, but that way we do both cities. Chicago, and where else? I have it on my list. By the way we got this list going is because I took all of our subscribers list and then I used the pivot table because it downloads into an Excel sheet. I went on the course and I did the Pivot 101 course and I used that method to be able to find out what cities our top people are from. And it's very interesting to see where everybody is.
Hey, Bailey said a good thing, Denver. Now, Texas, we have two major cities in Texas. What?
Yes. Hold on. Let me look at my chart. Texas, we have 383 people.
Wait, but what cities? What are the cities in Texas?
Dallas, Houston are very, very close together.
Okay. By the way, well, since we've got somebody on here from Kazakhstan, how do you say that? Can you write it like in phonetic sayings?
Let me get my book.
And get your book while we're talking. Houston, definitely on the list. Dallas. Okay, now, Alexis, do we need to do Dallas separate from Houston, or can we do one day that covers both cities? Is it close enough to where a person would go from one to the other? Chicago, come on, Bridget. You know Chicago is a major city. That's definitely on the list. Chicago, Philly, New York.
Okay, so here's our list. It's on Instagram, Facebook, and if you don't have it, I'm about to send out an email.
Wait, no. Do you have it where we can share it on here?
I should.
Do you have an image of it? Then you can share it, the screen of it, and we can show everybody.
Let me find it first.
No, yeah.
So I'll share how
Atlanta.
Okay,
Okay, they're 3 hours away.
what,
Okay.
Houston?
Yeah, the Houston and the Dallas is not going to work. Atlanta, of course, ATL. That's
Well, the
Atlanta.
one for Dallas is Dallas and Fort Worth together.
Yeah, but they just said it's 3 hours away. Okay, so we got to separate those, just like San Diego and LA. Okay.
Okay, here it is. Let me see. If I go to.
All right.
So I'm gonna try, guys. Again, it's an experiment. I'm the guinea pig.
So we're doing okay, so they're saying the same thing. There you go. Nah.
Wait, I have to go on my phone to see if it works. I can't see a YouTube thing.
I think it worked.
Okay, so there it is. January, Miami is January 25th. Dallas, I'm looking at the last week, which happens to be the 29th, which is a leap year day. So that's pretty cool. March, LA, and hopefully San Diego will be on there. Not the same day. April, Atlanta, May, New York, which covers New Jersey. June, Chicago. July, North Carolina.
Bridget. Somebody just said South Carolina, North Carolina. I forget.
North. Right now is at North.
We got it. All right.
August, Detroit. September, Philly. October, the DMV area again, where we all started all this. November, Seattle, and I got very, very excited to go to Seattle, by the way, because I've been wanting to go. And December, Phoenix. That's our tentative being the word.
Okay.
So stop. There it is.
I can dig it. Someone says Denver, Colorado.
So Denver, the reason that here's my, if you guys want, I could share how many subscribers and how I did it. But Denver, I only got, I'll tell you the number.
But in okay, go ahead.
CO, where are you? Colorado only has 47 subscribers. Denver has 17 people.
Right.
And Colorado Springs, I'm not sure how far it is 15. So our numbers were based on our top number of subscribers.
Right, subscribers that we have in different cities. Okay.
We should have done Austin and Houston. I need to see that on a map.
Yeah, listen, I told you what I like to see is you take a map and write the numbers on it, and then we can show people that.
I'm working on it.
You know,
but I need a physical map.
You know, because I mean, I've never been. I'd like to go to Austin as well. I mean, there's some places, and by the way, I want to go to Denver. I mean, you know, so we'll look at we will cross-reference the people with Cincinnati.
You mentioned Ohio.
Yeah, Indianapolis. I want to go to Indianapolis.
Indianapolis on there's only 20. In Indiana alone, hold on. There's only 3.
In Indianapolis?
Oh, 25 and 13, and 25 and then 13 in Indianapolis.
Okay, so 25 in Indiana and 13 in Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, you know, you take a place like, what? You said San Diego is 50 something or
San Diego.
Or LA is 75.
So California total is 355, LA is 51, and San Diego is 54.
So, I mean, it's a reflection of the populations of the states as well, right? So Dallas is huge, Florida is huge.
Number one.
Sorry, Dallas, Texas is huge, Florida is huge, California is huge, New York.
Oh, someone said Houston. Let me see how many Houston has, and that way we could. So I didn't do it based on where I want to go or just because those cities are popular. I did it based on numbers and data.
Thank you.
Okay, Houston is up there actually. Houston is 71.
Nice.
But the reason we did Dallas is because Dallas Fort Worth is 62 plus 19 is 81.
All right, so Dallas and Houston are both over. It's over 150. Okay, that's good.
Let's see how far they are.
Sacramento.
Oh, I was surprised about like San Francisco, Sacramento.
What are you doing out in Sacramento? Keep going, Maria. I was just talking to them.
California. Where are you?
By the way, for everyone listening, since I've got, we're kind of talking today and we're just chatting. Today's interview on my podcast with John Taylor. John Taylor is essentially a consultant, and that's what he does for his business. So he helps companies get contracts with the government. And he's a good example of how successful someone could be as just being a consultant and not actually having to create your own government contracting business, so to speak. Oh, you're working hold up, step your game up. You're working an NBA game? My cousin, he works the NBA games as well. He's in the trucks that does the film, like the filming and stuff for the games.
So Sacramento is 8 people.
Okay. Okay. Sacramento's 8.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Sacramento's not gonna make it.
Let's see, Austin.
But someone said, she said Austin is where they go to travel for economic contracting events.
Austin's 14.
Right, but maybe around the area, we could tie ourselves in with some sort of, like I said, she said, like another contracting event that's already happening in that area. Okay, well, I like this format. This is great. So I like it. I just don't like this whole Zoom thing at the bottom.
I don't like that fact that I can't read the comments like you can right now.
Yeah, no, that's stinks because if, as the guest, you want to be able to see what they're saying as well, right?
Yeah. Okay, so people are curious about Ohio.
Ohio.
They're really trying to push Ohio here.
What's up with Ohio?
NOP. Oh, Ohio, where are you? Oh, here it is. So Ohio, Cleveland is 10, Cincinnati's 8. Where else in Ohio? So between Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Columbus is 10. There's 20 people. And those are the highest numbers. Every other city is like 1.
I mean, again, I think it's a reflection of, I think it's just like the voting, right? When you go out and vote, you guys get so many delegates. I think it's the same thing. It's, wherever they have the most electoral votes, the most delegates, that's the same place we're going to have the most people and the populations where people are doing this kind of stuff. But I will say this, couple things. That's funny, Korea. Aloha from Hawaii. I will say right now, let me see if I can share this with you guys since I have people on. We have here, around the beginning of the year, we have what we call mom and pop grants, small business grants. So I don't know if you guys have anything like that in your cities. I encourage you to look, because these grant applications are only a couple of pages long, and I think they're like $3,000 to $7,000 that you can get for your business. So, I mean, who can't use an extra $3,000 to $7,000? Here in South Florida, depending upon what district that you live in, they have the application. So, for example, we've got them through January 31st. They're available, and then they're due the first part of February. So, at the beginning of this year, I would encourage everyone to look into their local municipalities to see if they have any type of mom and pop small business grants that they're giving out for the cities, because that's something that it's happening right here in our backyard, and I'm encouraging people to do it in my area. Another thing that's interesting, since we're talking now, is that Maria brought to my attention. She was looking the other day at a list of opportunities. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, and it showed where responded. So let me see how I can do this. Where's that thing that you sent me, Maria? Can you pull it up?
Yeah.
That list and share with everybody. I just want to remind people that this is what's happening out there. As much as I stress and say it, like we want our politicians to fight for us to have small business programs, small business contracts, women-owned contracts, veteran-owned opportunities, and then we fail to respond to this kind of stuff. So it's heartbreaking, because again, this is the stuff that
Okay, so it's the list for Patrick Air Force Base, the forecast list.
Okay, so this happens to be something that we're looking at that's in our neck of the woods. And, Maria brought it to my attention the other night, and she said, Eric, look at what this says.
Right here. It was a solicitation they put out, and right here it says WSOB provided no bids.
Scroll, you have to keep scrolling. Okay, there it is. Okay. Yeah. Can you zoom in?
Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it. Just highlight it with your mouse. There you go. Yeah. And this is what we're talking about. I tell people, hey, respond to the source of thought, submit the information, and people are not responding. And so what's happening is they're wondering why there are no set-asides out there, because we have to be the ones that respond in order for them to be put out there. Someone was saying, let's go back to the grants topic. Yep, subscribe, participate, very constructive experience. I agree. We are constantly, at least I am, when I hear about people in their situations, they come to me and they say, Eric, I need this type of person, or I need that type of person. I'm constantly referring people to each other. So, what Vicky's saying is true, because I know Vicky's expertise. And so when someone comes to me looking for that expertise, I happily refer them to Vicky. Queen of Zion says, is there a standard website to look at for that grant? What I would say is I would go to my local municipality, wherever I'm at, the city, and ask them if they have any type of small business grants available. That's what would be the first thing that I would do. I would encourage everybody, go to your local municipality and see if they have any small business grants available. And I would start there. So then let's say, like, for example, in Miami, we have Miami, right? And most people don't know this, but we have Miami, but then within Miami, we have 30 something municipalities. So, Miami-Dade County, the actual county, and again, I don't know how your town works, but if your local municipality doesn't have, or your local city, you may want to go to the county, at the county level, if it's significantly larger, and see if the county level offers any type of small business grants like this. Most major cities are going to have this stuff because they get funding specifically for that. And so I would say, go to your local city, because look, I'm telling you, I literally text a couple of my friends and I was like, yo, you need to do this because I knew a friend of mine was starting. And then again, this has nothing to do with government contracts, but it's money. And he's starting like a juice bar where he's making healthy, organic type juices and he's selling them at local fairs. And I'm like, dude, you know, an extra $5,000 to $7,000, you know, you could buy supplies, you could do labeling. It's essentially money, free money to help you invest in your business. And from what I understand, everyone that's on here, that's watching me, that's following me, are looking at to creating businesses. So why not get yourself a jump start in helping you expand those ideas and expand being able to buy software or tools or technology that you need anyways? Why not let the government pay for it? Because ultimately, it's going to serve to benefit people out there long term. So definitely, I would encourage you guys out there to do that. And, you know, a couple other things that we're working on, I guess I'll come back on and talk about this, but we are looking for people who are in the technology field. We are looking to take companies and help create software, develop out tools and stuff for government agencies. There's agencies that are looking for very specific applications. And so we're looking for developers, programmers, systems integrators. We're looking for people in the technology space who wants to help participate in some of these efforts. But there are opportunities out here, and we are going to start putting together teams of people to go after some of this stuff. So yeah, kind of since I had everybody on, people were talking back and forth, I kind of wanted to share some of my ideas and thoughts. You know, that wasn't the intention, but hey, why not? These are things that we're working on in the background that to help everybody out there. So look, Maria, this is great. I just don't like the zoom at the bottom. I like it this format because on this format where we change, Zoom can't put their marketing on there. And I ain't mad for Zoom, but like they could make it a little bit smaller.
Like when it's one person, you don't see it?
When it's one person, you don't see it. I just switched over now so you can see the difference. Digital marketing. Oh, it is on there. It's still on there, it says Zoom. Okay. I guess it's just faded like in the back. All right. So I guess it doesn't matter. Right now, digital marketing. No, we're looking at software development. But I did have recently someone in our Facebook group that asked about needing help with digital marketing for a government agency. So Queen of Zion, shoot Maria over an email and maybe she can connect you with that person that asked about the digital marketing that they needed. So cool. All right. Well, hey, thank you guys so much. This has been a fun experiment. Looking forward to getting some of my future guests to do live YouTube lives. Okay, you like to use it training people in Hawaii. Awesome. Yeah, I like Zoom as well, but I've never. What I tried to do before was I wanted to do like my live Q&As on Zoom. I know some software you can purchase that won't have the watermark. Okay. All right. Step your game up. Yes. Share with me. I'm open. I would share with me your Queen of Zion. Make sure Maria sent her email in there. Oh, wait.
If you don't know it, service.
Oh, no, wait, I just sent it. Okay, so on my screen, it didn't allow you to do that. I had to give you permission to put the email inside of the chat.
Oh.
I just noticed that. I had to give you permission to do that. Yeah.
No. Wait, if you haven't subscribed, if you don't know, we're trying to hit 10,000. I just saw that we're at 9,100 and something. So please, please, please.
Oh yeah, we're trying to hit 10,000. Well, we're gonna hit 10,000.
There's a little QR code thing on Instagram and social media. And there's also, if you're not a Govcon giant, there's a giveaway for when we hit 10,000. So please, please, please share.
You guys subscribe to Maria on her Govcon Giants Instagram page. Maria's she's doing a really good job putting out content for everyone. So, you know, I do a really poor job of putting out content on Instagram because I don't personally like taking pictures of myself and selfies all the time. So it's really hard for me. But Maria does a better job of that kind of stuff. So email's not showing. Hold on. Let me put the email in here. There's the email from Maria. The internship program. Actually, so I'm actually working on a draft right now because one of our team members, look, I was ready to roll out this internship program. And then someone stopped me and said, well, Eric, you probably should look at putting some structure in place because we don't want people to come back and say they were discriminated against or something like that. So unfortunately, the way that society is now, things are so litigious that you can't just do things. And that was my intention, but someone stopped me and said, look, let me help you put together some framework for it. And then you can roll it out. So I'm very excited to roll out this program. I was ready to go back then, but someone put the brakes on me and said, put some structure and framework behind it. And so that's kind of what's happening right now is they gave me a draft of a document to go over like rules and participation and stuff. And so I sent it back to the person who's doing the HR for it. And then we're working through those details. But I will tell you, by the way, Kelly Fawcett, congratulations on an IT client pending. That's great news. I will tell you this is we are also investing in software and tools for people in the government contracting industry. So we want to bring all the resources that the big companies have, all of the tools that the large companies have. We want to bring them down to a level that's affordable for everybody, like Netflix or Spotify, where you can just pay a small subscription model and you have all the tools that you need that spit out, like you push a button and it spits out forecast lists and target market lists and research and all that kind of stuff. So we are investing back into that. So again, if you in any kind of way have supported me, just know that that money is being used to reinvest back into developing tools and software for people so that we can make this. I want to take the small companies that have probably, they're probably more ethical and they probably are naive to the fact that, stealing from the government, things like that, that the big companies have already mastered. We want to go out and there, actually do a good job and deliver good quality services. I want to take those companies and bring them up. And so that's where I'm putting all of my heart, all of my passion, all of my energy into doing. So just note that that's what's going on kind of in the background that people don't see. I know Vishnu, he asked about the internship program, but we're putting in a lot of different programs simultaneously. We've got dozens of people working on all of this stuff at the same time. And maybe now that I've got Zoom and we can go live, maybe that will now give me the opportunity to be able to share kind of what's going on with us as we do these things. So thanks so much for coming on today. Lots of fun. And thank you, Maria, for being on here and showing your face and finding out it's not so bad at all. It's not so bad. And this is a good experience because you know what, Maria, when you talk to some of our future guests, you can see who would be interested in doing a YouTube live session, right? And because what the idea is, and by the way, guys, something else, one of the goals that I have is to make it a regular daily show. So I would like to come on 5 days a week for 30 minutes to an hour to come on and give updates and notifications about what's happening out there in the marketplace. So that is a big goal of mine, and I'm working towards that. But to do that, bye, Bridget. To do that, I'm going to need guests. I'm going to need people to help me curate the content and bring it to me. And then I may need like somebody to help put together like scripts and topics for the day. So that is a goal of mine. I'm sharing it publicly. I'm putting it out there. Maria, do you have the IG page?
At Govcon Giants.
There you go. Everything at Govcon Giants. So that is something that I'm sharing publicly with everybody. And so definitely I'm putting it out there. All right.
Bridget.
Oh, look, Maria, someone was just bragging about you.
Where?
They just put in a message. Thanks, Maria. Inspiration, just bragging about you. So, by the way, Maria, why don't you, since we have you on, why don't you tell people what you got going on? Give them some updates.
So since the last video, those 2 contracts, one of them we finished in about a week, which was easy. I went up to Bradenton. The guys were there. We installed the AC. We got paid right away. That one was $25,000. The Key West one is a work in progress. It's giving me lots and lots of lessons to learn along the way. And details, guys. It's all the details. Make sure you're aware of everything going on. Communication is a big part of it. We are hoping, I went to the 90% construction one last month. We had to push it back because of hurricane season, but then we also had to push it back because details in the scope of work was a miscommunication and they ordered the wrong AC units. So they had to reorder them. But that's all cleared out. I went up there the day of the install, and then I went back for 90% construction, and hopefully January 28th, I'll be back up there for our final inspection. So we're finally gonna finish that one. But after that one, I got a sole source from the Coast Guard for a pipe that we had to do. That one was awesome, but that relationship has gotten so much better, and it was all from that site visit and the contract that I did not win from the site visit. But the engineer and the operations facilities persons have reached out to me several times. We've done several proposals. I've taken several subs up there, and he even told me, he's like, Maria, if it comes from you, I'm okay with it. And they're smaller jobs, but it keeps it moving along. I'm waiting on 2 of those contracts to come through. They're already in process. So that's another 2. They're 15,000, but hey, it's work and it's going. And last week he called me. He's like, have you ever thought of doing work in Panama City? I'm like, and that's about an 8-hour drive from here, from Miami. And I'm like, sure, why not? And so he gave my contact information to somebody else. They called me, and my first question he asked, like, are you only restricted to doing work in Florida? And I was like, no, of course not. So he's talked about the fact that he's responsible for everything west of the river. So he says, we have people in Texas, we have Panama City. He's like, we have work, we just don't have contractors to do the work. So he's like, if I could help out in any way and I'm willing to find people for them, that they are willing to work with me. So all that's going on.
Wow. So, it's interesting when she told me that, is that I try and stress to people so much and so often that, we all think that the government's got this, right? That, there's people doing all this kind of stuff out there, and they are having a hard time finding people. I received 2 phone calls this week alone where people were asking me for prices on putting up buildings, like aircraft buildings, where no one had responded to them. And they're like, look, we need to put these buildings up and no one's responding. And they have jets that they already purchased that are coming in, and they need the hangars to put the jets in, and they don't have buildings to put these jets in. And so I got 2 calls this past week. Last week, well, it's been a couple of weeks now, but essentially we went to a project up in Maine to do a demolition for a building, and only 2 contractors showed up. Someone representing our company, and then another company came up there. And then the guys that were representing us, essentially, they didn't have one guy, he couldn't get on because of his badging. And then the second guy only brought one form of ID, so they weren't going to let him on the facility. So he got kicked out. So we essentially, by default, we were no longer allowed to bid the job because we didn't attend the site visit. So it leaves one person, and we're talking about a $6 to $8 million contract. And essentially, there's going to be one contractor that gets that job. They're not even going to have to compete against anybody. So, I think a lot of times we are stricken by fear that prevents us from going out there and talking to people and letting them know who we are, what we can do, what we have to offer. Remember, Maria ain't got no construction experience. Maria, she's learning as she goes, right? And getting paid at the same time. So I think it's great. She's been an inspiration to me. And I, I'm happy to hear that because, again, she's evolving. And I told her, yeah, girl, look, go to Texas, go to Panama, go. I think that people really, if we don't share this information out there, they're not doing, to me, they're doing a really poor job of letting people know about all of these wonderful opportunities that exist for someone just for the taking. Like if anybody wants it, it's just here for the taking. So, oh, Jared Davis. Okay, got you. Now I know who you are. Yeah, so I thought that was great for Maria because that just happened. Like it just happened. Was it last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just happened last week. And she told me, I'm like, go for it. And these people are saying, we have a problem that needs to be fixed. In fact, I got an email this morning from the national parks. Hold on. Let me find it for you guys. I got an email this morning from the national parks, and they're talking about projects. Hold on. I'm still playing with this thing. Is it sharing right stuff? I hope I don't have too many buttons and windows open. All right. Come on, Zoom. Come on, baby Zoom. Either way, so I got an email this morning. Okay, here we go. Here's an email that I received this morning from National Park. They're doing an industry fair talking about hurricane recovery projects. By the way, one thing I do want to mention while we're all here on the line is, I talk about attending events and stuff, but listen, if the event is like $900 or $800, I would say that there's things that are free that you can go to where you can learn, make connections, build relationships that don't cost you a lot of money. So I would not tell people to start paying a whole bunch of money to go to these expensive events, because really most of us are in the learning phases. And I don't want you spending your money, wasting your money frivolously and trying to get your first opportunity. A lot of stuff out here is open, like this particular event. There's it says here, look, it's funded at, it says, by the way, this is why I love federal contracting. It says here, I want you guys to read this because this is important. It says the project is currently funded at $207 million. Funded. Money is in their hands, funded, 75 projects. So if we did the math, right, on that, what is that, $2.5 million per project average? So it's currently funded, 75 projects, $207 million. All of the results from the last hurricanes, Harvey, Irma, Maria. By the way, those acronyms are HIM, if you guys don't know, HIM, Harvey, Irma, and Maria, and restoration efforts. And so they're going to talk about what all the people are going to be there who are making decisions. Lori, Chief of Contracting, Darren, HIM, Region Branch Chief. Look, see, they even called it HIM, Region Branch Chief, Rosemary Ortiz. By the way, Rosemary is fantastic. She's been helping small businesses since, I started this thing back in 2007. Christopher Lewis and more. So again, these are things that doesn't cost you any money. You go to here, you meet the people, you find out what the opportunities are, you put together a team, and then you come back and say, okay, you go back and say, hey, I've identified some opportunities. Now you go back to your area and you talk to folks who can get some of this stuff done, and you say, let's put together a team and go after these projects. And that's essentially how you do it. So again, I want to encourage everyone. This stuff is going on every day, right up under our freaking backyards, and we're not, some of us, not all of us, some of us are not even paying attention. So Chicago in the house. What's up? We see you, Chicago. And so Billy said, hey, I'm new. I don't have any experience with capability statements. I've got personal government experience, but not company. Billy, Maria, what, when you were new, before you even built the capability statement, can you tell us that first contract, what did you do?
I looked for a company. I called people.
I mean, so Billy, I think part of the issue is when you're looking at putting together your capability statement, that's great, but how about like Maria, you went to a bid with no capability statement. You just went to a bid for a project that you thought that you could find a company to do the work, right?
Yes.
You went early.
Yes.
Okay, wait, Billy, I forgot one key factor. So before you did that, you found a company, an 8A company, right? Or you found a small business company that could do some work?
Yes.
Okay, so Billy, Maria went out and you found a company that could do some work. And then what happened next? So then you went out to a site of job.
So I went to the site, and like you said, I got there early. So they escorted me in while everybody got there. And I had one business card. That's all I had. And when I signed in, he saw that my company that I was representing was 8A. So that opened up a conversation. And that is what opened up the relationship I have with them. And that bid, we were not even doing it. We're not self-performing. I had a sub show up later to look at it. And that is the one that I did not win. But I got so much more out of it.
Yeah. My friend has a saying. He says, master fear, conquer life.
And he says that a lot. And I heard it this morning before we got on this call. So it's not just you guys. I am in that boat with you. You guys know I've only been here for 2 years. So I'm on that same boat. I heard it today. Like, stop being scared. You're letting fear stop you because you're scared that if you get a big contract, you won't know what to do with it. But I'm letting that I don't know what to do with it from going out and trying to find a contract.
Right. Yeah. So one of the things I told Maria, I was like, okay, and look, I do this to myself. Before we got on this call, I'll be glad to share with you guys. Maria is working with my niece to update the blog, on Govcon Giants, right? And so I was telling her that, hey, I only have 9,000 subscribers. I've got to do something different. I want to get to 30,000 subscribers. And so she was actually editing one of my articles from 2018.
December 4th, yeah.
And how many subscribers did I have?
He said that he's so excited because he was growing so fast, and he was at 664 subscribers.
Right. So it's funny. So before we get in the call, she's like, yeah, you were happy to have 664 subscribers. Now you're pouting about 9,000 subscribers. So, but your dreams change, your goals change, you evolve, you grow, right? And that's the same thing for her. I'm happy for the contracts that she's doing, but now I want her to go after 7-figure type contracts. And her issue is what? What's your issue with that?
I feel I don't have a company that's able to perform those big contracts.
Right. And so I told her, I said, well, look, that's a good problem to have. So go out there and find a contract and then come back and say, now I need a big company. But she's letting fear prevent her from even doing that. Jared, yeah, the new Beta SAM is confusing, but we hope, look, it's the only system that any of us have. And unfortunately, we have to rely upon it. So there's no other system right now that does that until Pierce and I can figure out how to, make a better mousetrap. This is the mousetrap that we've got. So we've got to work with what we have. And a lot of people complain about Beta SAM, and trust me, I don't like it. I'll be the first one to raise my hand and say, it's not a great system. However, again, this is the same system that everyone has. So you know what that means? It's just like the same 24 hours in a day. We all have 24 hours in a day. So we got to work with that, right? So other people are using it and thriving and succeeding. Why can't we? So I'm just telling that because that's the attitude that we've got to take, is we have to be able to say, look, if somebody else is doing it and they're succeeding, then they don't have an advantage. No one has an advantage over you. No one has a different system. We all have that same crappy Beta SAM.
And with beta.
Oh, wait, Maria, look, Queen of Zion just said, I understand, Maria. I have construction experience and you're on the right track. I always went for the contract before I had the manpower. There you go. And that's what happens. And a lot of us is saying the same thing, is that, well, you know, I'm a new company and I don't have any government experience. And look, the government needs people. And look, with the president and what happened with Iran and that situation, to me, what I've seen is now they're like, they turn on the faucet of contracts, because a lot of stuff that I was working on last year, that again, proposals that were I put out there with some of the agencies and all negotiated stuff, they just started dropping. Like, you know, they said, hey, we gave me an award on this contract. We gave you an award on another contract. We're negotiating this contract. So for me, you know, I think that what's happening with this whole Iran situation, that look, you know, they've cranked up the amount of contracts and they're putting stuff out. They did approve the budget last year. So again, the budget is fully funded for a whole nother year until next November. So we're good. I mean, yes, we hit $1 trillion in a deficit, but that's a whole nother conversation. But for us out here who are doing this stuff, this is working. Like it's starting to happen. And if you put in any proposal last year, I'm sure you're going to start realizing some of the results of the efforts that you did, because unfortunately, October, November, we weren't sure about them having an approved budget. But then once they signed that, you know, everyone had to go on their little Thanksgiving break, Christmas break, New Year's. Now everybody's back. They're back working. And I actually have been emailing and negotiating contracts all throughout the holidays. So all from December through the first of the year, before Christmas, before New Year's Eve, I was negotiating contracts, putting up proposals, going back and forth with KOs, COs, and we were negotiating stuff back and forth. So I've seen an uptick in activity over the last few weeks, and I expect that everyone out here who's putting their selves out there and submitting proposals, negotiating stuff, attending visits, you're going to see an uptick as well. By the way, one other thing to look at with regard to the beta.sam that I think, if you can think about this way, let's just try and change our brains a little bit. If you say to yourself that beta.sam is confusing and that people don't know how to do it, if you figure it out, that gives you an advantage over everyone else. And that's the way I look at this stuff. It's like, okay, if I figure this out, well, and other people don't, maybe in this window of time, while it's still crappy, there's going to be some opportunities where not a lot of people show up because they don't know how to use beta.sam. So that's the attitude I think that we should all carry moving forward. Vicky says, for all tuned companies in an area interested in doing business with the government, feel free, Maria. While Mediterranean area, please contact me. Yes, Vicky is, by the way, if you don't know this, Vicky, we did an interview with her, but she's over in Vicky. Where's Vicky?
Italy.
She's in Italy, yes. And so Vicky is doing contracts with the U.S. government over there, and she's working in that region. She's been successful helping many of the people who watch me over in the Middle East get their JCCS registration and get registered on SAM, because there's a different type of process when you're a foreign entity. And so Vicky's been our go-to person for that. And we're very proud of the work that she's doing. By the way, Vicky, I heard you submitted a bid with the gentleman that we sent over before the holidays. Good job. I love it. I love it. So I've spoken to some students that are in Kuwait. I've spoken to some students that are in Afghanistan. I've spoken to troops that are over in those regions. And so we have people over there that, again, you know, there's military activity, there's military action. And we have people that are actually over there on the ground helping support our efforts. So again, we have companies that are supporting us that are both foreign companies that are doing OCONUS work and CONUS work. And so we want to help support everybody. And that's the mission, that's the goal. So journeyman painter. Okay. Look, my friend, by the way, if you're going to be in Miami when we do our event, all of my buddies who do government contracting stuff are going to be there. So in fact, my friend, the guy who I first started with, hold on. Let me see if I can show you guys. I'm gonna see if I can find. I don't know if I can find this clip, but not dun dun. There you go. So this is my buddy Paul Morrow that I first got started with doing contracts with, and so SDAC is the name of his company. So he's gonna actually be there with us in Miami. Here's a picture of him with Linda McMahon. He won SBA Award Winner of the Year. That's him celebrating some of his awards. So he's going to actually be there with us in Miami at the event. He just called me this morning and confirmed that he's going to be in attendance. So if you guys are in Miami, the time where we get ready to do this event, definitely we're going to have some people out there that that you could talk to and tell your experience. And the reason why I brought this up, because someone said they're a journeyman painter. Paul's brother is a painter, and we collectively in 3 years put about $700,000 in the bank. So as a painter in this industry, because one of the things that the federal government doesn't do is, even though you're a painter, you may have a contract that requires you to put up a building and paint it. So you're gonna have to find someone to put that building up in order to get the painting contract. Well, they're not asking you for a license in order to do that. So there's not like, hold on. Okay, thank you. By the way, someone did say that. Someone just said there's 34 people watching. If you guys all hit like and you like the channel, that helps the video, that helps the content and the moderators. So Step Your Game Up TV, thank you so much for that. Great advice. We have 35 people actually watching this, and we have 7 likes. So if you guys could just, right below my Zoom, right there, the little arrow, hit like on it, that would help us out tremendously with our analytics for YouTube. So thank you, Step Your Game Up TV, for that suggestion. That was wonderful. But going back to what I was saying regarding who was that? TV Vision Production, who's a journeyman painter. Yeah, so his actually his brother did painting, and so he'll be there as well in Miami with us. And so he actually is the one who, when I came to him, we basically, you know, he was doing about a couple hundred, you know, he's doing probably $500,000 a year, $700,000 a year, and then we start doing $2 million a year, and all of a sudden he just blew up, and now he's financially free. He still works, and we actually are the ones that built the hangar together. So he's the one who called me, and we actually built the hangar together. And so that's what we're going to be working on. But yeah, we've like I said, we're doing some wonderful projects. And don't be intimidated because you feel like you're just a journeyman painter. I mean, like painting, every building that we build needs to be painted. I used to paint, well, not used to paint, but I've painted in the past those big tanks that hold chemicals in it. And so we painted those big tanks that hold chemicals in it. And those were real, I mean, those contracts were very profitable for us, because what the government did was they bought specialized chemicals. And you're a painter, so you probably know this better than me. They bought specialized chemicals to paint the buildings, and so they were like double what a normal paint material would cost, just because the buildings themselves were so corrosive, or they got so hot that they had to require special paint. So I've done that before in Tampa at the Tampa shipyard. I painted a couple of buildings that had some high chemicals in it. I would set up my company. I would not say painting, definitely not. And for everyone out there, by the way, everyone watching this, do not, if you set up a company, don't set up the company to where it's the name after your industry. So don't set up Jet Set IT company, because if you decide to transition into a different area, or you get an opportunity, you don't want someone to say, oh, you're an IT company, or you're this type of company. Rafa just joined. You want to make sure that, like, for example, Maria, what's your company name?
MJ Global.
Thank you. So Maria could do IT, she could do logistics, she could do forensics, she could do construction, because her company's MJ Global. So I encourage people to definitely do your name more generic so that you're not limited. And I personally experienced where our company name was air conditioning and refrigeration, and we bid a piping contract to where we had to do underground piping. And even though we had the license for it, we got protested because the competitor said, well, how can an air conditioning company do underground piping? They didn't bother checking to our name. And so that was enough information to give to the city that they decided to throw the whole bids out, because they were like, nope, you're an air conditioning company. We don't want to deal with a protest. We don't have money to defend lawsuits. So they threw us out. Like, they threw out the whole bid, and it was like a $2 million contract that we won legit square. We were licensed. We had the qualifications to do it. We had the bond and the cap, everything, and they threw us out because they want to deal with a protest. So don't put yourself in that situation to where you can be protested. And a lot of times people don't want to do the paperwork that's involved with that. Queen of Zion said, you are key on that, Eric. Thank you. Look, my man Rod from Bama said, I learned that lesson from my first business I started. Cool. TV production, you just saved me $800. Awesome. Rafa, painters are needed in North Carolina on the coast. Okay. If you gain contact San Antonio, Houston, Amsterdam, Dallas, we've got skilled, licensed, bond contract, and all. Oh, look at that, Maria. Mm-hmm. Maria was worried about who was going to do the work when she got to Texas. What did I say? Don't worry about that. We got people. Look, here we go. Queen of Zion just put, we've got people in those areas. What else you want, Maria? Call the guy back and say, yeah, we got people. Let's go.
I told him yes. He says as soon as he finds where it's needed, that he'll give me a call so I can mosey on over to Texas.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying, look, Queen of Zion, maybe you guys, Queen of Zion, have you sent Maria an email while we're talking on this call? Before we get off, you better send her an email. Before we get off this call, you better send her an email. All right. Bridget said she did. Bridget did. All right. No, listen, I mean, Wiggins Global Enterprises. Okay. Good job. I like that. Rob from Bama. That's good. Yeah. Well, listen, Billy Johnson, if you messed up, you can fix it. You could fix it. But I mean, listen, look at the major companies of the world. Their names are shorter, not longer. Just look at all the major companies of the world. They're the only people who name themselves after their are I mean, and again, yeah, you might get like yes, you're gonna get like Johnson and Johnson, but they've been around a gazillion years. But if you look at all the companies today, Google, Alphabet, Microsoft, these aren't, Bill Gates didn't call it Gates Technologies. He didn't say it's Gate Technologies Incorporated. Microsoft, they have meanings to them. My company that I do, like for my real estate investment stuff, all my companies are called Yatirum. Yatirum, if you Google it, translate means investment. So I try to find things that have meanings to it. That way, it also gives me a story to tell. People go, where did you get that name from? So it gives me a conversation to talk about, and it doesn't pigeonhole me into one particular industry. So who else is coming on? By the way, I'm going to say this again because my man from Step Your Game Up TV said, we've got 38 people watching and 16 likes. If everyone on here who has not liked it already can click like button, this will help with the analytics and sharing. This started off as Maria and I doing a test on how do I want to start getting people to do live interviews with you guys. Some of my guests, for example, I'm talking to an attorney at 4:00 today. If I could get him to come on and be live training, to me, that would be better. So again, 37 people watching, 16 likes. I need to get at least 30 likes on here from everyone so that way we can help with the analytics. Kelly Foss, anyone has success with graphic web design, print contracts? Yes. We've got people that are doing graphic web design. The way that they give out those contracts are, Kelly, what I've seen is the government actually sent in a request to hire those people, like staffing agency, to do web design projects. So again, don't pigeonhole yourself into the fact that Right there. Maria's showing you guys. Hit the like button. Boom, just like that. All right, 21 likes. We're looking for 30 likes. We're looking for 30 likes here. But Kelly Fawcett, and this goes for everyone out there. So Kelly's question is, have you had any success with graphic, web design, and print contracts? Now, I had another student of mine that was doing something similar. And then a contract or an opportunity came up where the government want to hire people to do graphic and web design. But what they were looking for was not to hire the actual company. They wanted you to provide the staff for doing those services. And so the guy dismissed the contract opportunity. Well, what he missed out on was a huge mistake, because 3 of my podcast guests are highly successful at doing staffing services for the government. And what they tell me is, Eric, we don't have the expertise. We go out and find people with the expertise, and then the government essentially pays you to have them as a government employee, but they're technically a contractor. So when you guys hear the news and they say, oh, government contractors, that means that these are people that work for the government, but they're on the payroll of a private company. And we have several podcast guests. Mama Yu's done it. Lori's done it. That this is their business model. And so this is what they do. And it's a very successful business model. So again, sometimes the way that they buy might not be exactly the way that you perceive it in your brain, but it's the same type of service. So that's what I would say to you, Kelly Fawcett. Yes, we are doing the webinar training, continuing from last year's, and we've got some new developments coming up. Yes, 37 people watching, 24 likes. I need my 30 likes, people. Where's my 30 likes? Maybe you haven't heard me yet. Hey, everybody, welcome. I didn't even realize, Maria, what's today, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Tuesday.
It's 1 p.m.
It's their lunch break in the East.
Oh, okay, you guys are on lunch break. Y'all not. Okay, all right, it's y'all lunch break. Okay, good. Don't get in trouble being on here YouTube. All right. Bridget. I ain't saying no names.
She said a while ago too.
I ain't saying no names. How do we sign up for the webinar? Hold on, let me see if I can find a link to the webinar.
You just go govcongiants.com, free training on top.
There you go. Maria says it. Put the link, Maria, you can't put the link inside the chat?
Well, the link is, I'll try. Hold on. I'll do it right
Thank
now.
you.
You're welcome.
25 likes. Oh, Billy says it's 11 and I work from home. Good. All right, 25 likes. We need 5 more likes. All right. So for all of the people who just came on that missed out in the first portion of this, essentially what we were doing was we were experimenting with how to do a Zoom meeting and to do like a YouTube live. So that's essentially what we were doing. Rafa says hi, Maria.
Hi.
So we came on experimenting. Hey, Lene, welcome. We came on experimenting, and so we're learning how to get more people, like, so that some of my guests that could come on and they can actually interview with me, but do a live Q&A session as well with the group. TV Production says, what about the course? Go to govcongiants.com. All the information is on there.
Yeah.
By the way, one other thing I will mention that I'm thinking that I'll let you guys know since I'm sharing my thoughts. We're going to get rid of that $99 model. I don't really like that model. So for anybody who's thinking about joining for the $99 a month subscription, I'm going to eliminate that model very, very soon. I don't even know if I'm going to give a warning. I'm just going to eliminate it altogether. So cool. Like. Okay, cool.
You want me to
I see
share
some likes.
screen for your site?
Huh?
For govcongiants.com?
Queen of Zion just sent an email. Thank you.
I have not received. Let's check.
Hold on. Wait. She said she sent it. 27 likes. Cool.
Can you guys see the link for the webinar? I don't know if I need his permission again.
Where you have it?
On the chat.
What chat? All right, send it. You know what? Do me a favor. Send it into the chat on Zoom, and then I'll copy and paste it into the chat on YouTube. So Kelly, what I would say is that you don't have to team with a staffing agency to pursue the contract. What you could, no, you don't, again, you don't have to present yourself as a staffing service as well. All you're going to be doing is responding to the contract with fulfilling their needs. So they're not asking you to be a staffing company. That's not what they're asking. All they're saying is the way that they've structured the opportunity is in the form of a staffing company. So they're not necessarily going to say we need a staffing company to do this. They're going to say we need so many FTEs. So we're going to say we need so many people to provide graphic and design services. And then you're going to say, yes, we have people to do that. And what you would do, I would not say team up with a staffing company. I would say I would look at hiring people directly, whether you have to get them from the staffing company or you have to get them from Monster or wherever you find, or LinkedIn. I would go out and interview people to do that particular roles that I needed for that contract. That's what I would do. In fact, I'm going to say, take it one step further, is what I've told people is, here, Maria, let me put Maria's Score Contracts email in there. That might come faster. What I would say is that I've told people who are interested in doing something like that is to go out and start interviewing people who are in that specific industry already so that you can have those resumes ready to go when the opportunity comes up. So Kelly, that's what I would do. I would already start interviewing people that are in that specific space now, right, that you're looking at, and then be ready to go when an opportunity comes available. So I went, again, I don't say team with a staffing company, because you want those to be your employees on that contract. Because again, let's say the government gives you 80 grand and you pay, you hire the guy for 60, the government pays you 80. You want those as full-time employees. You don't want to pay a third-party staffing company to help you do that. You want to just eventually have them on your payroll long-term, because this contract might last for 5 years. So that's what I would do. Anthony Evans says, what are you going to replace it with? Nothing. It's going to be a one-time fee, Anthony, to subscribe. Well, with the webinar special, I think it's affordable enough for people. They'll just have to save up to get the money that it costs to do the course. Are there any more meetups in DC? Chieftain Watson, yes. So we're going. What I was looking for about the DC meetups. So I was looking for someone to actually take and run and organize the meetups with us supporting them. And so we had people that agreed to do that. And so what happened was that I didn't think they were doing a good enough job. So we're looking for some people who are willing to run a DC mastermind, and then we will help provide the support behind it. So that's why we haven't had any more DC meetups as of this time. All right, no problem. Oh, Mike Dillard. Okay. All right, Mike, we'll see you. No, Chieftain, man, you've been around for a while. So look, send me a message. We'll get on the phone. We'll talk again. Look, I have people, most of my podcast guests, right, they have a high concentration, are in the DMV area. So we have people that love us, that want to support us, right, Maria? That are in that area that, I mean, they're ready to, like, come on board and participate in any way, shape, or form. So definitely we want to, that area is hot, it's big, and there's a ton of opportunities going on out there. Okay. Yeah, Kelly. Yeah, it depends on the government. I can't tell if they're going to be on site or remote or whatever, but at least I just want you to have that frame of mind of essentially what's happening. So, that way you don't see that kind of opportunity. And then, matter of fact, send me an email on it, and I'm going to forward you the specific contract that the guy sent me so that you can see what it looks like, and then make sure you're already prepared for that opportunity. All right. 31 likes. Boom. We hit 30. Great job. So, all right.
Queen of Zion, I did get your email. And Chieftain, thank you.
Bridget says, I love this. Yeah, I like it. This is cool. All right. I like it as well. All right. But unfortunately, I got to do some work. So hopefully the idea, again, like I said, I would like to go live 5 days a week would be ideal. I don't know if I can make it 5 days a week, but I would like to do a live show 5 days a week. I'm looking for places to pull content from, to curate content. And so that way I can have conversations to talk about every day. So, I mean, I can get up here and talk, but I don't want it to be boring. I want it to be relevant. I want it to be, thoughtful and helpful. So, oh, Anthony Evans, you see, Rafa, did you see you just helped somebody out? He said that he's looking to get his training funded through vocational rehab really soon. All right. So thank you, Rafa, for that. Thank you for everybody who's contributed. Thank you for Bridget for always being there behind the scenes. Chieftain, you've been around. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Step Your Game Up TV, for telling us about getting the likes. And that was great. Thanks, everybody, for supporting us and our mission, what we're doing. Like I told someone the other day, I see people coming behind me that are trying to do the same thing, emulate me, but they don't have my passion. They're not going to be able to win, because my thing is I want to bring the cost of doing business with the government, the cost of getting started, all the tools, all the resources. I want to bring everything down to like Netflix price. So anybody can pay for it, Burger King type money. So it's a subscription, $20 a month, and you get everything, all the tools, everything you need. So, and they don't have that same type of drive, same type of goal, so they're not going to win. I feel like my system's going to win at the end. And so as long as because I really want to help people get into the space, because I've never done a federal prime contract at prime in Texas. So guess what? I ain't losing out if Queen of Zion and everyone else gets all those contracts. I'm not losing out if Bridget wins contracts out in Chicago and Ohio, so all that to me, I'm happy to help you guys do 10, 15, $20 million. And the government's happy as well, because they need people to do it. So, all right. Yes, Kelly, when I'm meeting with Ostabu, I always bring my client. I take the client because I want the client to see what we're doing. So yes, definitely bring your client so they can see the value that you create and that you know what you're talking about. So, all right. Hey guys, listen, thank you, but we got to go. So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And like I said, hopefully we can keep this going. All right. Thanks, guys. Love you all.